The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. At that time, Jesus saw a great throng, and he had compassion on them, because they were like sheep without a shepherd, and he began to teach them many things. And when it grew late, his disciples came to him and said, "This is a lonely place, and the hour is now late. Send them away to go into the country and villages around about, and buy themselves something to eat." But he answered them, "You give them something to eat." And they said to him, "Shall we go and buy 200 denarii worth of bread, and give it to them to eat?" And he said to them, "How many loaves have you? Go and see." And when they had found out, they said, 5, and 2 fish. Then he commanded them all to sit down by companies upon the green grass. So they sat down in groups, by hundreds and by 50s, and taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he looked up to heaven, and blessed and broke the loaves, and gave them to the disciples to set before the people. And he divided the 2 fish among them all. And they all ate and were satisfied. And they took up 12 baskets full of broken pieces and of the fish. And those who ate the loaves were 5,000 men. The Gospel of the Lord. Brothers and sisters, I'd like to tell you a true story. A couple of years ago, a middle-aged woman, very small of build and quiet of temperament, so not so very imposing, left the comfort of her home and walked into the slums of a large city. She had about $2 in her pocket. She had no job, no stable income, and she had no place to stay there. She had no close friends in that place. All she had with her was the inner conviction that God wanted her to help the poor. That was about 70 years ago. In 1948, Mother Teresa walked into the slums with nothing but $2 to her name. She ended up with 80 schools, 70 clinics, 30 hospices, 30 orphanages, 300 mobile pharmacies, and 40,000 volunteer workers from around the world. Mother Teresa took her 5 loaves and her 2 fish and gave them over to Jesus, and he multiplied them in abundance. Brothers and sisters, what loaves, what fish do we possess in our lives that we have been blessed with, which we can hold up to Jesus? We cannot all be Mother Teresa. She herself said, "If you cannot do great things, for not everybody can, then do little things with great love." Today, in the light of this gospel, we should all be asking ourselves, in this world, what can I do with my 5 loaves and my 2 fish? What am I able to do when I hand these things over to Jesus? Amen.